All right, today I've got a simple full body dumbbell workout for you that you can do right at home. Now, let's be real for a second. A lot of you probably have a couple sets of dumbbells and maybe even an old adjustable bench sitting in the garage somewhere, probably covered in dust, maybe even buried under boxes of Christmas decorations. If that's you, it's time to dust them off and put them to use. You don't need a fancy gym membership or racks or equipment to get stronger, feel better, and change your body. All you need is a pair of dumbbells. Adjustable ones are great, but even just one or two sets will work. And if you've got an old bench lying around, that's even better. This workout is straightforward, it's effective, and if you stick with it a couple times a week, you'll be surprised how much progress you can make. So first up, we've got dumbbell rows, as you can see here. Now, I'll be honest with you, rows aren't really my personal favorite anymore. I prefer vertical pulling like pull-ups, but if you don't have a pull-up bar, this is a fantastic way to build your back at home. The key here is your setup. Hinge forward at the hips, keep a soft bend in your knees, and most importantly, keep that lower back neutral. We don't want rounding through your lumbar spine. But here's a little nuance. You can actually allow your upper back or your thoracic spine to round slightly. That gives you a bigger stretch at the bottom of each rep. As you pull the weight, focus on driving your elbows back and squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top. And don't just yank the dumbbells up, control it on the way down too. That's where you'll feel the stretch and really engage your lats and mid back. Next up is the incline dumbbell press. Now, if you've got a bench, make sure it's not set too high. A lot of people go straight to that 45-degree setting or even higher. And honestly, that's more shoulders than chest, in my opinion. What I recommend is a slightly lower angle, just below 45 degrees. That way, you're hitting your upper chest and your front delts without overstressing your shoulders. As you press the dumbbells, think about driving them up and slightly in, but don't bang them together at the top. Keep control, lower them down slowly, and be sure to get the biggest stretch you can at the bottom. Don't stop the rep as soon as your elbows are at a 90-degree angle. I see that far too often. If your joints allow for it, always use the biggest range of motion that you can. Now let's hit the posterior chain with some Romanian deadlifts. This is one of my favorite movements with dumbbells because it really lights up the hamstrings and glutes. Here's how I do it. Slight bend in the knees, keep that bend the whole time, and hinge at the hips. Imagine you're pushing your hips back as far as you can while keeping the dumbbells close to your legs. You should feel a deep stretch in your hamstrings at the bottom. Now on the way up, here's the key. Don't think about lifting with your back. Instead, drive your hips forward and squeeze your glutes hard at the top. So actively contracting your glutes and your hamstrings to lift the weights. Control every rep. This is not about bouncing the dumbbells off your shins. It's about moving through that stretch and contraction. Moving into some quad focused work with the dumbbell sumo squat now. This is a great squat variation you can do at home without a barbell. Take a wide stance, toes slightly pointed out, and hold the dumbbell down between your legs. As you squat, push your knees out and keep your chest as tall as you can. Go as low as you can while staying comfortable in your hips. Here's a little trick I use. At the top of each rep, I don't fully lock out my knees. I keep a slight bend so there's constant tension on my quads and glutes. That way, even if the dumbbell feels light, it's going to feel a whole lot heavier by the time you get through your set. There's always a way to make lighter weight feel heavier, depending on how you actually execute a movement. All right, now we'll hit the triceps with dumbbell overhead extensions. This version will have you leaning back on an incline bench with two dumbbells at once, but you've got options here. You can do one arm at a time. You can use just one dumbbell held with both hands. You can do them seated, even standing if that's more comfortable. The point is, don't overcomplicate it. The important thing is to keep your elbows pointed up towards the ceiling, not flaring out too much. Lower the dumbbells behind your head until you feel a really good stretch. Then extend and squeeze your triceps hard at the top. All right, now let's hit the biceps with a variation I really like, the pinned curl. I call it that because you pin your arm against the bench so you can't cheat the weight up. No momentum, no swinging, just pure bicep work. Sit with your upper arm braced against the incline bench and curl the dumbbell up under control. Lower it slowly, don't let it drop. This variation keeps the tension locked on your biceps the whole way through, and you'll be surprised how much harder it feels than just a standard curl. And finally, we're going to torch the shoulders with some lateral raises straight into upright rows. Start with lateral raises, bringing the dumbbells out to your sides with a slight bend in your elbows. Don't swing them up, keep it controlled. And you can go higher than your shoulder height in the beginning of the set if you'd like, contrary to popular belief. When you can't get another clean rep, instead of quitting, go straight into upright rows. So pull the dumbbells up along your body, leading with your elbows. This combo gives you a brutal burn through the delts and traps to finish the workout pretty strong. All right, and that's the workout. 7 exercises, pretty much full body. All you need is a pair of dumbbells and a cheap bench. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to do a ton of sets, especially if you're new. One set of each exercise might be all you need to start. If you've been training for a while, try 2 or 3 sets on the bigger compound moves like rows, presses, RDLs, and squats, and just 1 set on the accessory work like arms and shoulders. As for reps, don't overthink it. Anywhere in that 8 to 30 rep range is great. If you're a complete beginner, just go until it starts to burn and stop there. Now, if you've been at it longer, push closer to failure. That's where the real progress is going to come. Run this workout 2 or 3 times a week, stay consistent, and you're going to be amazed at the changes in your strength, energy, and how you feel from day to day. So, dust off those dumbbells, clear off the bench in the garage, and get after it. And if you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe and stick around. We've got more home workout inspiration coming your way. All right, I'll see you in the next one.